And Carney, Drew Carney, is in Beaverton this morning, and he's looking slick. Drew?
No, Janelle, it's Bond. Drew Bond. We're getting ready for the new 007 film this Friday. Die Another Day. We'll meet one of the area's biggest James Bond fans coming up here in the 6 o'clock hour.
The world's most famous secret agent has a loyal legion of fans, including a few right here in our own area. Drew Carney brings us the story of one such fan this morning. And Drew, you're looking awfully sharp this morning. The ladies here in the studio, oohing and eyeing.
That's right, Peter. I'm in my official James Bond garb, and we have to thank Mr. Formal Tuxedos for this beautiful attire. And remind me to do that one more time. I promised him 2 mentions. So we'll mention that again at the end. But let's bring in the star of this segment. He is Fred Armstrong. His beautiful wife, Lisa, joining him. Fred, one of the most avid and loyal James Bond fans I have ever met. He lives right here in Beaverton. We won't give away the address because you have some pretty significant and valuable properties here in what is known as the James Bond room, or maybe the Bond bar area of Fred's home. And Fred, first of all, I got to ask you, how did this start? And maybe from your wife's perspective, how did this fascination with 007 get so out of control?
Well, I grew up on the James Bond movies. My mother was a James Bond fan, but nowhere near the level that I've become. I just, in the early 80s, just started collecting James Bond stuff, and it just kind of became an obsession, and I have spent a fair amount of money on most of this stuff in here at this point.
Lisa, a lot of wives say they lose their husbands on Saturdays and Sundays to football. You probably must lose Fred on the week that the James Bond movies premiere.
Oh, sure. I haven't seen much of him this week at all. I consider myself a James Bond widow rather than a football widow.
This week, of course, the new Bond movie, Die Another Day, comes out. This Friday is the official opening, but last night there was a sneak peek in Tigard, and Fred, you saw the premiere. Thumbs up, thumbs down. What do you give the new James Bond flick?
Well, I'd give it a thumbs up, and I'd have to give it about 3.5 stars. It has some real good suspense elements as well as a lot of good action sequences, which for a Bond movie.
Pierce Brosnan, of course, James Bond right now. But who is your all-time favorite James Bond? That's a question all Bond fans are asked.
Sean Connery.
No question?
No question. Sean Connery.
How about favorite Bond girl?
Diana Rigg from On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
See, that I'm not too familiar with. But I can tell you I do like Halle Berry in this latest film.
She's good in it.
Al, do you have any idea, have you gone through your collection here in this room and figured out maybe a price value on what this room or the collections therein are worth?
Yeah, some of the stuff. I do have a price value.
All right, let's start maybe, we can start with the original Goldfinger movie poster. Jared, right behind you there, directly behind you, the original Goldfinger movie poster. What's the worth on that?
It's a 1964 poster from the original release, U.S. release, and that's worth about $500.
How about over here, the James Bond board game, right over here, Jared. Sorry, man. How much is that worth?
1964 board game worth about $150 to $200.
And Halle Berry in a bikini.
Priceless.
There you go. Fred Armstrong,
Indeed.
his wife Lisa, inviting us into their home this morning, Pete. And now we're on our way. Oh, yes, MrFormalTuxedos.com. Thanks for the
There you
card.
go.